Good morning, welcome along, it's Adam here. I'm out on another hike and yes, I have just arrived. I've been driving for about an hour and a half now. I left my place about 20 past 6. I kind of wanted to leave earlier, but as ever, just get held up, don't you? You want to have a brew, you want to have a wash, you want to, then I had to defrost the car. But anyway, I'm here. I've arrived at my destination. Before I divulge where I am, although you're going to know because of the thumbnail and the title of the video, but anyway, we'll go on to that in a second. There's just a few things I want to say, a few people I need to thank. And first and foremost, there is a young lady by the name of Katie who has knit me or crocheted me this lovely beanie hat, which I'm so chuffed with. I genuinely am. She works at somewhere else that I want to mention, at a wonderful coffee shop which is called Time, the Vintage Hub, and you can find that in a small market town called JustGetOutThere in Staffordshire in the Midlands, which is not far from Derby, between Derby and Stoke, just off the A50. And I want to really sort of highly praise and recommend the brilliant Time Vintage Hub coffee shop for being my solace after a bit of a tricky year last year. It's been my place of refuge, and I've got to know the staff in there really well. And that's Katie, obviously, that knit me this. Jane, the owner, Jim, her husband, Gracie as well, and Mima. And basically, they're all a great bunch of people. It's a great coffee shop. So there you go, recommending it. Boom, go and have a coffee there. So where the heck am I? I've just arrived. The nearest place, I'm just off the Holmfirth Road, and I'm not far away from Stalybridge, Ashton under Lyme. I'm basically not a million miles from Manchester really, or Oldham. Oldham's probably the nearest big place. But anyway, near Saddleworth Moor I am. And I've come to do the Yeoman's Reservoir walk, and I'm on the quest for the Trinnacle, the Holy Grail, the Trinnacle. I will leave it there, but I'm hoping to find it, and that's part of this hike. Again, courtesy of good old Komoot, which I found as a consequence of being told about this walk. I saw some pictures on Instagram of a really great colleague, a guy called Will Mather, not sure of his surname, but he's a newly qualified paramedic, works with the ambulance service that I do. And he really inspired me, put some really nice pictures of the walk that I'm about to do, and he sent me his Strava map, and I've just transferred it on to Komoot. As you know, that's the one that I use. So massive thanks to Will for giving me the idea to come here. It's inspired me to come and have a walk round. Typically, it's occurring to me that going for hikes in the winter, no matter how good the forecasts are, you are always subject to changes in conditions. And I have to say, disappointingly, yet again, the weather really looks grey and drab after they'd forecast sort of sunny intervals this morning. And I know there is going to be showers later today. So I'm a bit gutted. I mean, I can actually peer out over there and see that there's really low cloud again. And again, I don't think I'm really here at the best time really to get spectacular scenery shots or anything like that. But you know what? It's not going to get me down. I'm still looking forward to a nice, long, fresh hike, because you know what? I just want to get out there. That's not a bad opening view, is it really? Unlike a lot of hikes, I've parked sort of on just off the road, and we're quite high up looking into the valley. So yeah, looking forward to this. See what I mean about the cloud, but you never know, it might clear. Fingers crossed. Let's go. I've got a really good feeling about this walk. Yeah, I'm just I don't know why, there's just a really, to be greeted with such an amazing view straight out of the car for one, and I've walked down into the valley, and to have this kind of backdrop straight away, it's just pretty impressive. It's just beautiful. It's so quiet as well, not far from the Holmfirth Road up there, but I just feel I've kind of entered another world after quite a long, and I didn't mind saying it, I do get a bit stressed with, I shouldn't do really, because I'm in no hurry, but I did want to get here as early as possible because as I said, there are showers forecast for later today, and I think this hike's going to take about 4 hours, I believe, if I've got it right. But yeah, I need to get a shifty on really, but I can't help stopping and just taking pictures and doing film because it's just so beautiful. Just wonderful. Just get out there. I'm a bit overwhelmed, if I'm honest, at just how wonderful this is. Everywhere I look is white water. White water, technical term there, do you like it? This walk is just getting better and better. I'm about to just go up there, some beautiful waterfalls. I'm really looking forward to filming up here. And then up here, I'm sure that's the Trinnacles. But hopefully we'll be walking round and up there, and I'll be looking down at this very spot from up there. So yeah, this is stunning. Wow, this has been quite challenging, I've got to be honest, and a little bit precarious as well. I think you might have just seen me slip. Very wet rocks, quite a steep gradient, quite a lot of scrambling, which I really didn't expect, but at the same time, what stunning scenery, which has made it all worthwhile. But it's finally happened. I think I have foobarred my 360 camera, climbing or scrambling up some quite steep rocks. Obviously you can see the angle of the camera. I was filming thinking this is great footage, and then there was an overhang and I've caught one of the lenses on the rock and it's made a really nasty scratch. So I've got a horrible feeling that is it for my 360 footage. Gutted. But if ever it was going to die somewhere, this is the place for it to die. It's proving quite hazardous, this is actually, because not only slippery rocks, but wet bogs as well, quite deep. I didn't bring my walking gaiters today. Wish I had. Never mind, still loving it. So I've reached that point where I'm now heading up. So just got the task of crossing over now. Just trying to find the best place. Probably no bad thing to give my boots a wash, really. See, I nearly went over then and I haven't even got to the water's edge. Right. I think I've spotted a route. Give my boots a bit of a wash. Right then, onwards. If I'm honest, it's quite a nice relief to get away from the water source, because that was quite hard work actually. And now I'm on firmer ground. Not really, but it's a lot easier going than it was down there. And the weather, dare I say it, has picked up perfectly for me. That is beautiful. And then that nice sound of the grouse yodeling in the background. Last time I heard that out on a walk was when I did my bleak low. That kind of reminds me a little bit actually. Only the weather today is a lot better. And I haven't just spent a wild night in a tent. Whether it's because last night the cloud came in, I was knackered, been walking for hours, I was aching, I was hungry, tired. It all seemed a bit really quite gloomy. There goes that grouse again. But this morning I've just, whether it's because I've had some sleep, I feel a lot better, a lot more positive about the walk. I'm starting to really appreciate the beauty. It's bleak, but it's really beautiful. That's what I've just been walking up, following that path. Look at this weather now. Beautiful this is. know me and heights. But hopefully we'll be walking round and up there, and I'll be looking down at this very spot from up there. So one of those really famous shots in this area is people stood on the top here, and it's very easily accessible. Just look down here, there's a little pathway and just a little climb there. But again, anyone that knows me, not on your Nelly, I'm sorry. I mean, me just walking out over on there was enough. I tried to just walk along that little bit there, and it's just too steep. There's too much of a drop. Hands up, I am a coward, but for the sake of trying to make that great shot, I'm not going to kill myself, because it is amazing when you are, for those that don't understand about being scared of heights, the expression knees knocking, it's quite simply true. Your knees start to go a bit like jelly, and obviously that's not good. If that makes you unstable and affects your balance, to do something like that is just bloody dangerous. So respect to anyone that does do it, but no, not for me. But anyway, what a privilege to be up here. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Right, I've still got quite a long way to go. I've just checked my map because it's been such slow going. I've got quite a way to go, so shut up talking and let's crack on. A bit ominous. It's getting on a bit now time wise, and sure enough the forecast was correct. I think it's gonna start getting wet soon, so need to press on. Not so good for sort of videography and photos now really when the light goes, but yeah, I'm getting pretty shattered. It's quite a good walk actually, but thoroughly enjoying it. Let's press on. Closing in now. Head down. To say that the weather has closed in would be an understatement. The weather really deteriorated quite fast. I could see it coming across the valley, and now visibility, as you can see, is pretty horrendous. And I don't mind saying, I was walking along thinking I'm a bit concerned here. But anyway, made it back to the road now, and I presume it's going to be relatively easy going, using the road back to the reservoir and to the car. I actually met Beverly and Kirsty, I think that's their names, coming the opposite way, and they said, oh, I think we're a bit lost. And I was like, flipping heck. And I said, well, you know, I'm going back towards the road. So they followed me with their dogs back to the road, and they were quite relieved. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think I stopped them from carrying on over the way I just come, and that is a long, long way across that moor. And yeah, they were quite relieved as I was to see the road. So God, it's been quite an adventure, this has really. But anyway, still not back yet. Let's get back. I'm dying for a coffee. So it was tempting just to carry along the road. It's the road I've come down and carry on, but the Komoot navigation said to me to turn off to follow this path. So it was tempting to stay on the road, but no, I'm going to stick to the route. And the minute you get on the road, you start meeting lots of people as well. It's amazing how many people are around actually, even though the weather's closed in. But yeah, back to some nice peace and tranquility and just the sound of the river. I think this path just basically runs parallel with the road, so pretty easy going, I think. If you do decide to do this hike, I really do recommend turning off the road actually, because roads are boring, aren't they? We can all walk up and down roads every day, and we probably do. So every opportunity to get off the road. And this is just so nice, really quiet. Even though it's been quite windy, I'm probably quite sheltered here. This is a really nice, sedate, relaxing, after the excitement of walking basically along there with the weather closing in, thinking, ooh. And I still had quite a long way to go. I was starting to get damp as well, so again, it's just imperative that when you set out for any hike, I was aware that the weather was due to close in, but obviously it just said showers developing this afternoon. But showers in environments like this literally mean low cloud and visibility drops, and you know, you have got to be really careful, and it gets cold really quickly. And cardinal sin, you'd think I would have learned by now, but I didn't bring my gloves. Really annoyed with myself. You know, you'd think by now I've got this hiking thing sorted, but it just does make me think, you know, of having a standard checklist for any hike, winter or even summer. You know, make sure you pack gloves, your waterproofs, everything. You just don't know, especially in Britain. You know what our weather's like. The girls I met said that they were at the main car park, and I'm guessing that that's it. That's obviously one of the main places for people to park and then just go for nice walks around the reservoir. Oh, I've got a good appetite now. I've got some sandwiches in here, but I'm going to wait till I get to the car. It's been a fantastic walk, it really has. Again, just what the doctor's ordered. Another plug hole. Well, I am coming towards the end now of the hike. I know my car is parked literally just up there, and I could so easily just nip up because I've seen a few little paths cut throughs, but I'm determined to stick to the route, to do the entire duration of the route. So in summary, it's been possibly one of the best hikes I think I've ever done. It's been challenging, the scenery, the scrambling up the rocks with the river. It's just been amazing, amazing. Back to the car. Oh my word, that I'm quite glad to be back, to be honest. I'm shattered. Let's just have a little looky. I'm going to put up the I will put up the hike because it's all recorded in Komoot. I might even share this one actually if I put a link for it, and then I'll upload some pictures for it and stuff later. So that was 9.92 miles actually. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave me a like if you've enjoyed the video. Like I said, I will share this hike. I'll put it up on a link with the Komoot, a direct link, and I do highly recommend it. But as ever, you know, the way the weather closed in, as I've mentioned already, it's just a classic example of just be prepared for any weather. But yeah, but anyway, wow, what an adventure. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.